Hey, what's going on? It's Anthony from Us2K and the Ant, and today I'm going to show you how to replace a valve cover gasket, or gaskets, on a 2003 Lexus LS430. And then you can see here is the engine that we're working on, the V8 engine in the Lexus LS430. You can see something's missing, which is the intake manifold gasket, because I am actually in the middle of changing out the intake manifold over there with a supercharger. That's in another video, just keep an eye out for it. But yeah, this is kind of cheater mode right now because the intake manifold is gone. So if you're trying to follow along with me, I'm like way ahead of you, and you shouldn't even have to remove the intake manifold. You can just leave it in there. From what I've seen, people usually leave the intake manifold in there while they're doing this, and there's a starter. Apparently that starter is a pain to take out. I mean, at this point we're almost there. So to get to this point, I think to get accessible is just remove that cover, remove, like, I don't know, there's an intake arm right here, remove that, and then sort of remove the harnesses and stuff like that, whatever. So I'm going to attempt to replace the harder side, which is the American driver side. This side apparently is more difficult than the passenger side. So I'm going to attempt to do that right now. I mean, I got most of the harness like kind of disconnected already since I took off the intake manifold. So next I'm going to just go through these coil packs and disconnect all of them and probably undo them. I just removed see these 10mm bolts on there. Just untorque those, loosen those up, and remove the coil packs out of the way. I have a spark plug video on YouTube, so if you want to watch how to replace the spark plugs in this car, please go ahead and do that. I kind of walk through how to do that. So after I remove that, remove the harness, I heard that you have to remove the bolt that holds in this this dipstick, this oil dipstick right here. And I heard that is also, or no, here it is, this one. That's it, engine oil. Heard that is a pain in the butt. So I don't know if I have to do that because it doesn't really look like it's hitting the intake manifold. But that's something I gotta figure out. So I'm gonna remove the coil packs, and then yeah, I mean the intake manifold's only held on by these. They look like 10s right here. Yeah, that guy. This guy, he looks like a 10. So there's a bunch of those. Besides that, I mean, I did kind of cheat. So I shouldn't have anything else, but yeah, as I said, it was total afterthought because I'm replacing this thing, this intake manifold, and then at this point I'm looking at the engine and I'm thinking, hey, this is a perfect time to change out the valve covers, the valve cover gaskets, because like, when is it ever going to be this open? Never. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, hopefully this goes relatively smooth. So all the coil packs are out. And also another thing I did was I moved here, this guy, this whole like evap assembly thing. It's just all out there. Lines are all rock hard. I gotta replace all those hoses eventually, or now. Oh, something happened here. I must have took the connector clip with it. Oh well. So yeah, the thing with this car is that since it's, you know, an old car, that all of these like connector clips and stuff, they're super brittle. Like, look at this vacuum hose, it just snapped on me. Just, yeah, everything's super brittle, but oh well. So next thing I'm going to do is attack all these 10s and then see if I can take off the valve cover. I don't know if I need to take off this VVTi thing, but I don't think so, because it doesn't seem to be interfering with anything. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 9 10s throughout. So Now I'm gonna give it a shot. Busting out the ratcheting wrench for the bottom bolts. See how it turns out. So this one, not the furthest one, but the lower second to last and this second to first, using my flex head ratchet with a 10 mid length socket, and that's working fine for me. If the profile of this was just like a little bit thinner of my ratchet, I can definitely just get a way better grip on that bolt. So far the bottom two, it's kind of a pain, but it's not too bad so far. There's one over here that's literally right next to this oil dipstick, and I'm not looking forward to that. Another one in the front. Now, another thing to note is that, see this rubber like washer thing? It's recommended that you replace those too. The valve cover gasket set I bought actually comes with replacement rubber washers, these washers. So I'm going to go ahead and be replacing these too while I'm at this. So just to recap, I removed a bunch of bolts. I removed this guy, this guy right here, two more here, 1, 2, and the bottom, this one, used a flex head ratchet. You could probably use a, what's it called? You could probably use a swivel socket. Another one here, where my finger is, down there. Get some light down there, see, there somewhere. There it is. Another one right here. And then last one's here, right next to this dipstick tube thing, which I read online that people just remove the bolt that holds in this oil dipstick and makes it a lot easier. But I was able to get it out using a long 10 mil socket with a swivel head, and then swivel head ratchet, and also a extension with a swivel socket to get it out. So we'll see how it goes when it goes in. Everything wasn't torqued. Everything wasn't tight. I mean, these aren't torqued down to much. So now next thing I'm going to do is remove the valve cover. And now it goes. Here it is. So you can see all the dirt and crap that's all built out over there. Make sure it doesn't get into your engine. I'm about to put a paper towel over this in a second, so nothing really gets in there. But yeah, it looks pretty clean actually. So next thing, I'm gonna look at the valve cover gasket and clean it up. Look at the valve cover, clean it up, and then hopefully install it. Yeah, this is the metal pipe that I was hitting when I took it off, but it wasn't too bad. So this is the part I'm using. It's made by stone, as you can see. It's actually Ishino stone, which is actually a Japanese company, and it says it's for a Land Cruiser, but apparently it's the same part. And this gasket set is made in Japan, so I believe they say it's the same as OEM. Like, this is the OEM supplier. So it comes with 2 gaskets. It comes with some spark plug seals, and it comes with these little washers that you put in the bolts. Alright, so this is the underside of the valve cover. I'm going to show you how to change out the spark plug seals. Now, what you have to do is first, this is a new one already installed, but this is what you're going to have to do to take the old one out in the most minimally evasive way as possible. Evasive or invasive, whatever. And then, so basically, you have your spark plug seals here, and they're kind of held in by these tabs, so you can't just pry them out from the get-go. You gotta pry back these tabs first to be able to get this spark plug seal out. And what I use is I use some like a screwdriver to kind of get the tabs up a little bit, like so, and they bend really easily. And then yeah, just kind of get a screwdriver to kind of get them started. There you go. And then I use like a set of like needle nose pliers or something to grip under that tab you bent up, and from there just bend it back like so. That. Just bend it back. That. There you go. There you go. So now you have the tabs bent up. Next step, what I like to do is take a flathead screwdriver like so. Actually the Toyota, Lexus, whatever manual tells you to maybe tape the head of the screwdriver so you don't mar the surface. I'm gonna just raw dog it. So you kind of have to find the area underneath where the spark plug seal meets the surface a little bit, and boom, and there you go. Just pry upwards, it'll come off, hopefully. This car only has like 100,000 miles or so, so the rubber is hard, but it's not crazy rock hard like an even higher mileage car. And then next thing, what you got to do is put the new spark plug seal in there. So this is the new spark plug seal. As you can see, this is this side, the rear of it. This is the front that kind of protrudes a little bit. This is the side you want facing towards you. And all my tabs need to be moved bit more. Just a smidget. This one is cut a little bit. There you go. So now you can see it's kind of square in the hole there. And then you could use something that's around the same approximate diameter. My case, I'm going to use this socket. It's a snap-on 29 mil. You could probably find ones a little bigger. They'll do the trick. And then what I'm going to do is kind of just cut. It goes in pretty easily for me, so I'll just able to push it down, and it looks like it's seated pretty well just with that. So I'm just going to go over the edges. Another way to do it is you use a mallet like so, hammer it in, but it's in there pretty well, just pushing it down. And then afterwards, after you have installed the spark plug seal, go ahead and you could just use like a screwdriver and like a hammer to just, there we go, just knock down those tabs, just lock it back in place. I really think these tabs don't do much. I don't foresee the spark plug seal just flying off because they're in there pretty good. And when you install it like pushing down on it. So, but it is nice to do. So just knock these tabs back down, and that's how you do it. And of course, to install the valve cover gasket, just remove it. This is the old one. It's still actually kind of soft, actually, not that bad. Probably go another like 20-30,000 miles, and then just install the new one. And don't forget to add RTV to those points I mentioned on the cylinder head. It's basically just the corners, these two corners, and then the rear here where those like half moon seal things meet. So yeah, just install these guys, and the gasket for the right and the left side are different. So if you bought a set like me, one fits and one doesn't fit, it's because you have it on the wrong side. So that's basically it. That's how you have the spark plug seals installed and have the gasket on there. And I gave this thing a little clean, so it's much cleaner now. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish up these last two spark plug seals and then install this thing on the car. Well, not install this thing on the car, not yet. I'm actually going to clean up the surfaces, get all the old RTV off, make sure they're really clean, add new RTV, and then hopefully install this and torque it down. Here I have the bolts I took off, and I put the new washers on them. So I also gave them a good cleaning, not a really good cleaning, but I gave them a decent cleaning so they look a little fresher. There's less oil on their threads and stuff, but yep, all new washers on. Alright, so cleaned up a bunch of crap, cleaned up all the mating surfaces. Next thing you gotta do is you gotta put RTV over here, right, and put RTV in the corners here, like one little dab right here, and on the opposite side, right down here. Yeah, right around there. And then another thing I did, which I didn't do when I removed the valve cover, was, make sure I get some light in there. I removed this 12mm bolt that is typically where my finger is here, down here, that holds in the oil dipstick. So it gives me some more movement so I don't pinch the gasket. It's this guy, this little bolt, and it's really strange because it's all the way down there against the head, and I literally had to have like my flex head socket like in this weird angle, like down here, and then I was able to get it out. But it's really strange. So for this job, I just generally recommend having a flex head ratchet, because all these bolts down here for the valve cover are really hard to get to if you have just a standard, just one, you know, flat one-way ratchet. So, and then also this is the valve cover, still a little crusty, but I was able to blow it out with some compressed air for my little thing there. So next thing is that it's gonna go back in the car. After RTV, these four points there, I'm gonna use Honda Bond. Because Honda Bond is all I have right now, and I like it a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and RTV 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right around here. Alright. So all the RTV is all there. And go ahead and install this bad boy. Doing a last hand tighten for this front bottom bolt with the extension with the flex head and a 10. Yeah. Alright, so now everything is just kind of snug down. Go ahead and go around and torque these in the correct sequence. It's like this, 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 this. It's like a star pattern where everything is torqued down evenly. And that should be it with this side. And then I'm going to tackle the passenger side. Torque all those bolts down to 53 inch-pounds using like a tiny torque wrench like this guy. And do it in a star pattern. Okay, that was quick. So, passenger side. What I already did was take off the coil packs, undo the connectors, and then I kind of loosened all the bolts. I'll show you where they all are. It's Same thing as the other side. There's one there, one there, one there, one there, one in the middle here, and there's 1, 2, can't really see, 3 down here, and 4 back there all the way in the corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 bolts total. And then with the coil packs off, I was able to undo that connector. There's a bracket here. This bracket goes here. I removed that 10, set that aside. And then for the harness back here, I undid this 10, and then there's another one right here. And I undid those 2, and that gives me a little bit of movement, and I'm able to move this whole harness thing back a little bit behind this hook, the engine hook, which you can also remove since it's only like two bolts back here. So with that being said, I'm gonna undo all those bolts 100%. I was able to use my long head cordless ratchet to get back there. You can do it with normal ratchets, and I was able to shoot them off. So another handy tool to have is a magnet. You gotta have one of these, because once those bolts come off, you just stick that magnet down there and then extract the bolt that way. Alright, so I'm gonna undo those bolts and then take them out, and then do the same thing, replace the washers, clean off the surface, what else did I do? And then reapply the RTV. And then this time, actually, what I found out on the passenger side is that it's easier to clean the valve cover with it on the engine than off the engine. So I was able to hit it with my brake cleaner and just like shoot off all that dirt. I went through like 2 cans already. And then, yeah, so there's going to be less dirt getting into my engine, because last time when I opened the other side, there was a ton of crap that got in that took me a while to clean up. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to take off the bolts here, and then hopefully remove this valve cover, hopefully easily. Oh yeah, and also undo the connector for that VVTi solenoid thing. Alright, here we go. Alright, so as you can see, the valve cover gasket's off. Of course, at the bottom it's leaking. A lot of people, honestly, what I read online, a lot of people just tighten the bolts on the bottom and they call it a day and just let the car run for another, whatever, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 miles and just wait till the gaskets get super hard. But since I'm in here, I might as well, and I have a lot of free time right now, so cool. Valve cover gasket is off. It's cool. And I put it here on the ground. Of course, it looks really clean because I cleaned it before I took it off, but it still needs a little bit more cleaning. Not too bad. So I'll just hit it with a can of brake cleaner and just go through it and do the same as it did on the other side. And then hopefully it turns out alright. And don't forget to cover that with like a paper towel or something so no dirt gets in. But yeah, on this side is pretty clean. Pretty clean. Oh, another thing I did on off camera is installed a new PCV valve right here. That purple thing. It's really good. The old PCV valve was actually stuck. I looked at it and the ball inside was stuck. So you can actually get around to, actually you can probably actually just clean the old one out, but I just want a new one. And I got a new grommet because the old one was really hard. But yeah, that's what I did this side. So at this point, I'm going to replace the valve cover gasket, pop it back on. I still need to put the bolt onto that oil dipstick. I'm thinking about replacing the O-ring that goes from the dipstick to the oil pan, or in that area, because I heard that leaks a lot. So I might do that too while I'm here doing all this other stuff. And what else I got? Oh, if you see that pipe right here, this pipe, see it's like a red right there? Yeah, right here where my finger is at. That's a little coolant leak right there, which is great. So I actually might have to replace this whole freaking metal thing. That'll be a separate video, but it's gonna be a short one because it's like remove 4 bolts and then remove this thing. But I might also replace these rubber hoses that come out of it since I'm here and it's accessible. But whatever. All right. On to the spark plug seal replacement and valve cover gasket. Back there, those 2 half moons up top, just clean off the RTV off here and off there, these 2, and then the corners here where the gasket meets the corner. It's right, oh geez, right here, and then right down there, the other corner. There we go. The end of that down here, you can't see it, but it's the opposite corner of this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, so once again I'm going to use my trusty Honda Bond, because that's what I have, and I like it a lot because it forms a really good seal. It's not as like liquidy as the other stuff you buy from the parts store. So I'm gonna put some sealant on that half moon front, other side of the front, and then hopefully I can pop on the valve cover gasket without much fuss. I do see a problem here, as you see the wires kind of in the way. I'm pretty sure there's like a disconnect down there, but I think I can wiggle around it, but I'm not too sure yet. But I'm gonna give it a shot, because why not? I already cleaned it with some acetone and some brake cleaner, and I really scrubbed down those surfaces, make sure there's no oil on there, because RTV doesn't stick very well to oily surfaces. So I'm gonna give that a shot right now. So passenger side valve covers back in. So that's how you do it pretty much. I totally cheated. Like, not having the intake manifold, I was able to slide the valve cover from this way up top to left. While if I were to do it this way, I'd have to find wherever that the rest of that harness down there connects and just disconnect it so I can move the harness out of the way and out of the way and then go in from this way. But it's pretty much the same thing. You guys get the idea, hopefully. So yeah, that's how I do it. I'm gonna replace the spark plugs. I have a video how to do that. I'll link it below, or it's here somewhere. Maybe it's here, and then so I'm also gonna replace that coolant pipe. Whatever, that's another video. But yeah, so that's how you replace the valve cover gaskets on this car. It's to be honest with you, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I hope not to do this for a long time. And also that oil stick, there's a O-ring, oil dipstick. There's an O-ring that goes into your, I don't know, engine or oil pan or something that they do recommend you to replace because apparently that goes bad. And since you have the bolt removed for this, you might as well do that now. I'm just waiting for that part to come in. And that's it. So if this video was helpful in any way, please like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll make some more Lexus videos for you guys, especially with this 2003 LS430, or my 2003 IS300, or my 2000 Honda S2000, or my Civic, which is somewhere else. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.